I made these from these. Today I'm going to show you how to decoupage pumpkins with napkins. It's a new technique I learned and I want to share with you, of course, with my little twist. So let's get started. So the first project we're going to do is this beautiful, elegant bird decoupage. Now we're going to use all faux pumpkins today, and it's just one that's sort of like a medium-sized pumpkin like this. Okay. And I already did one side of the pumpkin because I had to try it out because I'm not an expert at decoupage. I'm just learning it. And the materials we're going to use, the pretty pictures we're going to use are from napkins. Now, I didn't know this, but all you decoupagers out there know that napkin decoupage is where it's at, right? So I found this really beautiful bird napkin with all these pretty birds and berries. And a great place to find napkins is on eBay. There's actually several businesses on eBay that sell napkins, and they have thousands and thousands of designs. It's amazing. And you can just buy like one sheet at a time. And I believe I paid $1.95 for each sheet of napkin. And so you can have a whole lot of different patterns for very little money. Because I was at first looking on Amazon and they have a lot of beautiful napkins for decoupage, but you have to buy like a pack of 20 or a pack of 12, and I didn't need that many sheets. So if you're out at Home Goods or like fancier high-end grocery stores, sometimes we'll have an area where they have beautiful napkins. Be on the lookout for beautiful napkins if you want to try this. So napkins are usually 3-ply. It's really easy to remove that first ply. And then I didn't realize there's a second ply that you have to remove. There's 3 plies. Of course, it's not easy when I'm trying to show you. Okay, well, I'll show you what I learned. You just add a piece of tape to the napkin to peel off the first layer. You see that? You peel off the first layer. You separated it from your image, and you could just discard that. And then, at first I thought, okay, that's it, 2 plies, and you just go ahead and use this. No, there's 3 plies. So you use the tape again, and then you could pull out your next ply. So this is the best way to pull it off. If you try to separate it, sometimes it's really hard because they're like fused a little bit on the edge with that little pattern that you see. Then you have this super, super thin napkin to work with. Now what I found is easier to cut it when it's 2-ply and then to pull off the last ply from your image after you've cut the image out. So this is what I mean. I'll cut out like a little bird like this, and if I want to use this little bird, then I will pull off that last ply from this little bird after I've cut it, so it's easier to handle. Now I also have seen that a good way, instead of cutting around your image, is to use a water pen, or in my case, you can use like, I don't have a water pen, but you could just use a little tiny brush with water. And what you do is you trace kind of the outline of your image out, and you tear it carefully. And having that kind of irregular edge makes it easier to decoupage. In my case, I find that tearing it is too difficult, and I could tear the image and it's just really hard to handle. So I just cut it out as close as I can to the image. I'll show you one that I did tear out. This is one that I did tear out with water, and has a more irregular edge. Anyway, so I'm just learning as we go. So what I have here is a little dish filled with Mod Podge. Now Mod Podge is the go-to for decoupage. I have the matte. They have a glossy, a matte, and I have the matte. And then I just have these very inexpensive sponge brushes. And what you do is you just cover the surface of where you want to place your image with a thin layer of this Mod Podge. I always call it Mod Podge. It's Mod Podge. I think it's just Elmer's glue, right? in a jar. That's what it smells like. So it's just like a water-soluble glue that dries translucent. Now definitely protect your surface. I have a piece of plastic down on my counter here. So I'm going to put this bird right here, kind of like where it is in the front. And then you just kind of press it down. You can also wear gloves with this if you don't want to get glue all over your hands. I don't know. The gloves are kind of nice because you can kind of press the image down and not get glue all over your hands. Okay, so I have one bird down there. And then I'm going to put another bird on this side here. Oh, another thing I found that's wonderful is I have these sheets of vellum. So once you have your images, when they're just a single layer and they're super, super thin, it's great to put them between these sheets of vellum so that you don't have to worry about it getting wrinkled. Okay, so I'm going to put another bird there. I have never done decoupage until recently with these pumpkins, and it's really, really fun. Now I'm trying to rack my brain to think what else I can decoupage. And I'm just obsessed with all these beautiful napkins that you can buy on eBay. And kind of work out how you want your image before you put your glue on, right? You could just kind of lay it on the vellum like a composition. And we're going to go over the whole image with the glue, with the Mod Podge. Okay. Then I'm going to add some of these pretty berries to this. Maybe this is too big. I'm going to put a piece here. Just thought this is a very, very elegant and interesting look. Now, I've seen online on other YouTube channels where there's other crafters, they're doing a lot of all over pattern for the decoupage pumpkins, and those are very beautiful too. But I thought I'd do something a little different and have sort of a composition instead of an all over pattern. And I just thought that these bird napkins were just so beautiful. I really love it. And then see how there's like little side pieces you can use, like little pieces of leaves and things like that. You can add in there. There are a lot of very accomplished decoupagers out there, so I am not one of them. So if any of you experts are watching, please leave me some tips on how to be a better decoupager. But it's just so much fun. I can't believe I've never done this before. And I chose white pumpkins because the background of my napkins are all white, and it's a lot easier. I'm not sure how you would do it if you were doing a background that had color. Just say my pumpkins were gold or something. And then I don't know how you would do that with the image having a white background. And what you do is use the glue to kind of smooth it down, your brush. Such a beautiful image, isn't it? Almost reminds me of like Christmas cards or something. So I was just kind of playing around with the composition, and I just wanted it to be a very elegant, whimsical, you know, the style that I really like, something that's very exquisite and refined looking. Something very different. This would be a wonderful gift too. If you're invited to someone's house, you know, for fall entertaining. And just a fun thing to have because you just make it and you have it every year. You could bring it out around September, October, and have it out around the house. But I think I'll be making some of these as gifts. Wonderful gifts for hostess if you're invited to someone's house. And isn't it nice to bring a handcrafted gift? So I'm just kind of filling in some of the white spaces with the berries and things. So it's just like a very beautiful, subtle fall composition. Now it's not going to look really nice right now because we still need it to dry. So now I'm just going to go over the image with some glue, the whole image that I just put on with some glue. Now I took the top off of my pumpkin because we're going to make a interesting little vignette on top of our pumpkin as well. Okay, we're done with our beautiful bird pumpkin for now. I'm going to set it aside to dry and we'll move on to our next project before I put the top on our bird pumpkin. Okay, so the next pumpkin is just a mini pumpkin. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to show you a pumpkin, the first one that I decoupaged. I just had these little cabbage rose cocktail napkins at home. I didn't have anything else. So I said, I'll try the napkin decoupage. So I cut the roses off of this napkin. I'll show you what the napkin looks like. You've got 4 images usually on each napkin, right? So you've got a lot to work with. So I cut the roses kind of individually off of each panel. And then I thought, hey, this green border is really pretty. So maybe we could do something with the green border. So that's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to make a little subtle kind of botanical looking little pumpkin with just the green border. This is what I did with the little rose images. This is the first one I decoupaged. I just had the little rose images, you know, kind of around here on this little white pumpkin. And then I put a little dried rose because I happen to have a little dried rose that's exactly the color of the rose on the napkin. So it's kind of a cute little shabby chic looking pumpkin. And I added some faux greenery and a little dried rose on top. Now, that's part of this napkin that I cut up. So this green botanical border here I thought was really elegant and pretty. So I'm going to put it on this little pumpkin. And take the top off. And then this is a super easy one. You know what? I'm going to put down this napkin here on my turntable so I don't get glue all over it. I think it's washable, but still, right? Then we're just going to go ahead and put glue. I'm going to do a crisscross pattern across my little pumpkin here. It's super easy. Just going to apply that border over the pumpkin. Try to center as best I could, doing a kind of a crisscross pattern. Okay. It's a little too long, so I'm just going to cut the extras off here. Then I'm just going to go over that border with some more glue. I've seen that you can also spray a little water on here if there's wrinkles. I'm actually not that obsessed with the wrinkles on the decoupage because if it's too perfect, it just looks like it's printed on. So having kind of seeing like the hand detailing of the pumpkins is sort of charming to me. that it looks decoupage and it doesn't look like it's just printed on. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and do this cross pumpkin. You know what? I don't think the napkin's a good idea because it's going to get glued onto the napkin. See, I'm going to remove this napkin. What I should have done is wrap my turntable with plastic wrap. I think that would be a better thing, right? I'm just going to get glue all over myself. It's okay. Just going to use my hand to kind of press it down. Okay. Okay. Going to go over my pattern with some glue. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside to dry. So this third one is the big project, and this is what it's going to look like. I did half of it just to try it out. It's really hard to do, but it was inspired by this beautiful napkin. I saw this on eBay and I said, oh my God, this is so pretty. I have to use it. And I thought, wouldn't it be pretty to have it be an image and then have like a all over pattern around it? At first I was going to paint the pumpkin black, but I found this napkin that has an all over pattern that is very, very similar to the border of this napkin, right? So I said, aha, we can do that. So that's what we're going to attempt to do. So you get 4 images, and then I've got about 2 sheets of this. So I've got 2 of each, and this one's been cut already to shape, and we're going to go ahead and peel that last layer off. See how that comes off with the tape? And then this is going to be on the opposite side. See, this side is still all white. We're going to put this on the opposite side of this. Now I want to make sure it's exactly opposite here. And this is going to take a lot of glue, like a large area of glue. So this is a very elegant and fancy looking pumpkin. I've seen a lot of beautiful ones, and I've never seen one like this. I think it's a very unique one. I mean, the possibilities are endless. You need to go check out these stores on eBay. Just go on eBay and Google, or just go on eBay and search for decoupage napkin. I can't believe it. There's a whole business that, several businesses, that's all they do. They probably just buy tons and tons of these beautiful napkins, and then they sell it on eBay. I'm going to make sure I'm exactly opposite to this side over here. And then place it down. More glue on the corners here. This one is hard. I was trying to work it out so I can show you guys how to do it, but it's hard. Because you want to like have to match the outside to the inside too. And the larger the image, I feel the harder it is to keep it nice and flat and straight. I did read that it's easier to do if the napkin is wet, but it's so thin, I'm afraid if I wet it, it would just disintegrate. But you can get a little spray bottle and probably mist this if you need it to mist the wrinkles out. Well, like I said, I don't need it to be perfect. I don't mind seeing a little bit of wrinkles and the handiwork. So that doesn't look like it's just printed on there. Okay, I smoothed it out as best I could. I'm going to go ahead and apply some glue, some of this Mod Podge over it. Make sure it adheres. And the other side, when I was working with it, was very wrinkled because it was the first side I did, and I was not very good at it. So what I did was I wet it a little bit I misted it with a water bottle and then tamped down any wrinkles. So we can definitely do this too on this side. Just get the image on there first. So this is just a craft pumpkin I bought at Michael's for $10. They didn't have large ones like this on Amazon that you can buy singly. So I went to Michael's and bought this. And so that's what we have right here. Now for the hard part is we have to piece together the black and gold scroll pattern. So I have this here from that I used from the other side, and we're going to have to cut it in strips to cover the rest of it. I'm glad I have 2 pieces of napkin because otherwise I won't have enough to cover this whole pumpkin. Okay. Have you seen those blue and white pumpkins, the chinoiserie pumpkins? Those are really pretty, right? So this is kind of like that, except we have this black and gold pattern and we've got this large image. I think this is going to be really beautiful. Now the black and gold scroll image is not exactly the same as the border of my large image, but it's close enough. And this pattern, the overall pattern is very forgiving. Now, there's a part here I don't really like that you can see where it overlaps. I'm going to cut this part off and have that show. And this is more seamless this way. Okay. Okay, I'm going to have to cut another strip here. It's doubly hard because you're working with a round object, right? Okay. I'm just brushing the pumpkin with the Mod Podge to add another strip here. Can you see? Okay, I'm going to cut the extra off here. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it a little bit. Okay, do another strip here. Be a shorter strip like this. Go. It's almost impossible to like match up the pattern with the of the scroll. So the all over print is somewhat forgiving. So I'm just going to do that and not worry too much about it being perfect. Okay, so we've got this side done. I'm going to go ahead and do this side. I think we're going to need another piece of napkin. Okay, so we're going to continue on this side by cutting strips. Got lucky, this pattern matched up here in this corner. And instead of making a straight cut, I'm going to kind of cut like irregularly so that the seam is less obvious. Okay. Uh-oh, it's ripping a little bit over here. Okay, I'm going to cut a little tiny piece here because I have a little area there that is ripped. You see there's a little scroll pattern that matches there. I suspect this is a lot like wallpapering, except you're trying to wallpaper a pumpkin. So it's kind of difficult. Well, it does teach me not to ever attempt wallpapering. I'm just going to repair that a little bit here. There we go, like it never happened. Okay. Last little bit here. Try to match the pattern a little bit here so it's not too jarring. It seems to work pretty well. Okay, we're 90% there. Now the hard part, we have to cut irregular pieces to fit the top. So I'm going to cut around this pattern so we don't have any square or blunt edges. I think that's the way to go. Make it look a little less pieced together. Just to cut kind of irregular around the pattern. That's not too bad. Okay. Go up as close as you can to your stem. Then I'm going to cut this piece off too. So definitely this overall pattern is pretty forgiving, but it also teaches me that doing the birds much easier than trying to decoupage the whole pumpkin, right? Just adding images is much easier. Okay. Okay. Let's fit another piece up here. Part here that looks very pieced together, so I'm going to add a piece here that'll cover that, match that pattern a little better. Okay, we're mostly done. Now we just have the bottom strip. Okay, so we are mostly done with our big pumpkin. Kind of an ambitious decoupage project for a novice, but I think it's pretty spectacular looking. We're going to set aside to dry and work on the pumpkins that have already dried. Okay. So it's been several hours, and now our little decoupage bird pumpkin is dried. And I'm going to just create a fun little top for it. Now I took the little stem off because I'm going to do some branches on top, like a tree branch. So I've got these just short little branches, and I'm just going to glue it in the little hole where the pumpkin stem was. I'm going to kind of see how I'm going to do it, and then I'm going to put some glue on there, just to create a novel little top for it instead of the pumpkin stem. And with a faux pumpkin, sometimes the stems are cute, sometimes they're not. There's a wide variety. I saw somebody create pumpkin stems from brown paper bags. It's quite ingenious. What she did was she'll scrunch up like a brown paper bag into like a corkscrew looking thing, and then spray it brown or gold for her pumpkin top. It's really cute. Because my plan is to add a little bird onto this one. So I just wanted it to look like a little branch on a tree. You see how it's like kind of a shape like a little branch on a tree. Then we're going to add a cute little bird. Isn't this adorable? I'm going to add that to our pumpkin top. There he is, isn't that cute? And then I'm going to add a few little other elements to it. I'm not sure what. I think I may add some fall leaves. I think that would be really pretty on this arrangement. Oh, not arrangement, on this pumpkin. But doing the top is sort of like doing a mini arrangement, right? So I'm going to add a little fall leaf here. Then another one here. Let's see how it looks from the front. That's really cute. Add another one in the front here. See how you can get a lot out of a small stem of leaves even? You can get quite a lot out of it. Just taking little pieces off. So that's what we have, a cute little bird with fall foliage top. I've got also little cones and berries. I don't want to go too crazy with this because I don't want it to overwhelm the beautiful design that we have. Let me just take a look. I have like a little squiggly, just little elements that I think would be cute on this. But I think I want to keep it not too complicated. I think the little cone would be very cute. I'm going to add a little cone. And then maybe a little sprig of berries, but a very tiny sprig. I added a little berry to see we have little berries here. I think I better stop. And I think this is a very cute little pumpkin. I think it's very elegant and dainty and whimsical looking and not something you see every day, right? That's the nice thing about making something for yourself. You can create whatever you like. So here we have it. We're all done. I think these turned out really pretty good for my first attempt at decoupage. I'm still perfecting the technique, but I think the ideas are good, right? So this is really beautiful. We have an all over pattern, but with a beautiful floral cutout in the center, kind of reminiscent of fancy china or Dresden vases. That's kind of the look I was going for here with this big pumpkin. I especially love my little bird pumpkin. I think the design is so elegant and whimsical at the same time. And I do like that we did a little bird on top. And I've got a few of these mini pumpkins that I made just as test of concept. I made a bunch of these. This one is almost like a Christmassy pumpkin, really cute with the red berries and the little frosted red berry on top with some greenery. And this is that little green garland one that we did. I added some purple wildflowers and little sprigs of greenery on top for like a little botanical looking little pumpkin. This one you've seen with a little rose design from my cocktail napkin. And this one is an all over bird pattern with some berries on top. And this is also another really pretty one. So the amazing thing is we made all these with these napkins. Just wanted to show you what the napkins look like. We made that. This is my all over bird napkin and my little flower cocktail napkin. So I hope you had fun watching me decoupage. I really learned something in this video. As always, please like and subscribe. Tell me what you're doing for fall decor, and I will see you in my next video.